And we're back again at Numbers chapter 32, verse 12. Save Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, and Joshua the son of Nun, for they have wholly followed the Lord. Notes: the Lord never forgets unbelief on the part of His people, and neither does He ever forget faith. Verse 13. And the Lord's anger was kindled against Israel, and He made them wander in the wilderness 40 years, until all that generation who had done evil in the sight of the Lord was consumed. Notes: you can read it in Hebrews chapter 3, verse 11. Unbelief can never inherit the land. You can also find that in chapter 4, verse 6 of the same book. Verse 14. And behold, you are risen up in your father's stead, an increase of sinful men, to augment yet the fierce anger of the Lord toward Israel. Notes: in other words, Moses told Israel that they were little better than their fathers, if at all. And you could also say he's basically telling them to get real. Verse 15. For if you turn away from Him, He will yet again leave them in the wilderness, and you shall destroy all this people. Notes: to leave the perfect will of God, even to the slightest degree, always has its negative results. It doesn't necessarily guarantee someone's destruction, but it does, however, guarantee problems. Verse 16. And they came near unto him and said, We will build sheepfolds here for our cattle, and cities for our little ones. But we ourselves will go ready armed before the children of Israel until we have brought them into their place. And our little ones shall dwell in the fenced cities because of the inhabitants of the land. We will not return unto our houses until the children of Israel have inherited every man his inheritance. Notes: this meant that they were to immediately bid farewell to their wives and children and march away to a 7-year war, in which many of them would probably lose their lives. Now, if we plan for ourselves, there is always trouble. Now, if the Lord plans for us, everything falls into place, and it's a very good place. Verse 19. For we will not inherit with them on yonder side of Jordan, or forward, because our inheritance is fallen to us on this side Jordan eastward. Notes: now in a spiritual sense, the promised land side of Jordan symbolizes a death to self. Verse 20. And Moses said unto them, If you will do this thing, if you will go armed before the Lord to war, and will go all of your armed over Jordan before the Lord, until He has driven out His enemies from before Him, and the land be subdued before the Lord, then afterward you shall return and be guiltless before the Lord and before Israel, and this land shall be your possession before the Lord. Notes: and it doesn't take too much. It doesn't take too much. Seeing that Moses sought the Lord about this particular decision, which, if correct, is always a mistake. Verse 23. But if you will not do so, behold, you have sinned against the Lord, and be sure your sin will find you out. Build your cities for your little ones, and folds for your sheep, and do that which has proceeded out of your mouth. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben spoke unto Moses, saying, Your servants will do as my Lord commands. Verse 26. Our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and all of our cattle, they shall all be there in the cities of Gilead. Verse 27. But your servants will pass over, every man armed for war before the Lord to battle, as my Lord says. So concerning them Moses commanded Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun, and the chief fathers of the tribes of Israel. And Moses said unto them, If the children of Gad and the children of Reuben will pass with you over Jordan, every man armed to battle before the Lord, and the land shall be subdued before you, then you shall give them the land of Gilead for a possession. But if they will not pass over with you armed, then they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. Verse 31. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, As the Lord has said unto your servants, so will we do. We will pass over armed before the Lord into the land of Canaan, that the possession of our inheritance on this side of Jordan may be ours. And Moses gave unto them, even to the children of Gad, and to the children of Reuben, and unto the half-tribe of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the land, with the cities thereof in the coast, even the cities of the country round about. And the children of Gad built Dibon, and Adaroth, and Aroer. Verse 35, and Atroth, Shophan, and Jazer, and Jogbehah. Verse 36, and Beth Nimrah, and Beth Haran, fenced cities, and folds for sheep. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon, and Eliel, and Kirjathaim, and Nebo, and Baal-meon, their names being changed, and Shibmah, and gave other names unto the cities which they built. Notes. Thank God I finally got through with those names. Verse 39. And the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, went to Gilead, and took it, and dispossessed the Amorites which was in it. And Moses gave Gilead unto Machir, the son of Manasseh, and he dwelt therein. And Jair, the son of Manasseh, went and took the small towns thereof, and called them Havoth-Jair. And Nobah went and took Kenath, and the villages thereof, and called it Nobah, after his own name. Chapter 33 of Numbers. These are the journeys of the children of Israel, which went forth out of the land of Egypt with their armies under the hand of Moses and Aaron. And Moses wrote their goings out according to their journeys by the commandment of the Lord, and these are their journeys according to their goings out. Notes. The love that led Israel through the great and terrible wilderness for 40 years, so that they lacked nothing, commanded Moses to minutely record their wanderings. This command and this record revealed the most tender love and proved that their divine shepherd accompanied them every step of the way from Egypt to Canaan. In all their afflictions, he was actually afflicted. He cherished them as a nurse to a sickly child. He suffered not their garments to wax old, nor their feet to swell. I believe that's in Nehemiah chapter 9. This chapter right here shows that he never lost sight of them for a single day. Verse 3. And they departed from Ramesses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month, on the morrow after the Passover. The children of Israel went out with an high hand in the sight of all Egyptians. Verse 4. For the Egyptians buried all their firstborn, which the Lord had smitten among them. Upon their gods also the Lord executed judgments. Notes. Let it ever be known that most of those judgments were actually direct insults to Egypt's gods, showing how powerless they were. Not only that, Egypt was left waste just to show just how powerless their gods actually were. Verse 5. And the children of Israel removed from Ramesses and pitched in Succoth. Notes. Now the Lord commanded this historical narrative be written not only for historical interest, but to show us that the Lord watches over us continuously. And in fact, He never takes an eye off of our doings, recording all things. We should remember this, thereby making every day, even every second, count for the Lord. We must begin again at chapter 33, verse 6 of the book of Numbers. Thank you very much.